Hello everyone, and in today's video we are going to install our MicroBix system on such a USB flash device. In this video I will show all the steps on three different operating systems, which is Windows 11, Linux Ubuntu and macOS. So then we will boot from our USB device and also provide some soft phones connections and testing our system. So let's get started. Okay, let's start from the Windows operating system. Yeah, here I have just standard one, Windows 11. So for this operating system we are going to use this tool which named as Banana Etcher, and of course before we start we should download the latest file, disk image file. For example, you can do that from the MicroBix GitHub with releases. So yeah, here you can find all available releases for now. So yeah, here you should look for the disk image file with a .raf extension. Then you just download it, and after this step we can proceed the further installation process. Alright, here in Banana Etcher we should firstly choose our disk image file. For that, click Flash from File button, then we should go to the folder, for me it is MicroBix image, and yeah, choose your .raf disk image file. Then click select target, here select your USB device, and yeah, very simply after that just click flash. So as we can see, our flash completed successfully, and that is mean if you got the same message as me, you can proceed directly to the boot part where we boot from this USB device. The next operating system is Linux Ubuntu, but this guide will be suitable for a lot of different Linux distributions. So in today's video I have Ubuntu version 24.04.1. Yeah. So yeah, let's get started. Firstly, before we start, of course, we should download the latest disk image file with an extension .raf. You can do that, for example, on our GitHub, MicroBix GitHub, with the releases section. So yeah, here you can find the latest stable version of MicroBix and yeah, easily download it. So let's get started with our installation process. Firstly, let me change the directory to downloads because there I have my .raf file. Alright, firstly we should execute ls-pl command to see all available disks. Here we have disk SDA and the disk SDB. SDA is my system disk, which is Tony JP, and SDB is my USB drive, which is actually 28.9 GB, but yeah, it's 32 gigabytes USB drive. So here we should mention the name of that. For me it is SDB, but for you it can be different, so just you should remember this name and use it further along all the installation process. Alright, the next command is command to format our disk. Yeah, it should be FAT32. Here we specify this format. Of course we execute everything with a super user rights. Yeah, you just use this command where you specified FAT32, then you specify the name of our USB device. It can be just random one, you can type Miko here, MicroBix, it doesn't really matter. I will use just no name, and the most important thing is to specify the correct USB drive. For me it is, again, it's SDB dev/SDB, but for you it can be different. You should double check it because all the data on this drive will be destroyed. Yeah, that's all. Press enter. wait for a few seconds until our formation process will be completed. Yeah, it was completed successfully. So we are ready for the next step, which is unmounting our disk. For that we will use the command sura umount and then specify our disk, which is def sdb, and also use this tag to mention to unmount all the partitions of our disk, of all the parts, sorry. Then press enter. Yeah, we can see our disk was unmounted. Yeah, and that worked for us. That works for us. That's fine. So the latest and the most important step is to write our system, to write our disk image file. So for that we will use a command called as dd. Then with the first argument we use just the path to our .raw file. As I mentioned before, yeah, we can see I use downloads directory. I downloaded this file, which is 1.114, and the second argument is our disk. It's sdb for me again. Yeah, sorry for just replying this thing every time, but yeah, it's very important because if you specify the wrong disk, nothing will work for you. So, and for the last argument we just specify the size of one block. Here we will use 1M, and yeah, that's all. We can just press enter and then wait maybe for 1 or 2 minutes until it will be done. So as we can see, our process completed successfully, and that is mean you can go directly to the part with the booting from your USB device. So now let's proceed with our last operating system, which is macOS, or yeah, simply just OS X. So before we start, of course, you should download the latest disk image file with an extension .raw from the MiCopaPix GitHub with releases. In today's guide I will use this version, which is 2024.1.114, and yeah, after you complete your download, you can proceed further among this instruction. And firstly, let's list all available devices. For that, you should use this command, which is discutil list. And here we can mention that we have two different disks. The first disk is my system disk. Here we can see its size. And the second disk is external and physical, mentioned as external and physical, and that is our USB device, USB drive. So here we should check the name of our disk. For me it's disk 4, but for you it can be different. So just remember this name and use it further among all the installation process. So the next command is sura discutil erase disk. Of course we execute everything, almost everything today under the super user rights, and yeah, this command, just we will use this command to format our disk as a FAT32 with a file system FAT32. The second argument is just the name for our disk. We will use no name, it doesn't really matter, you can use whatever you want. Then we use MBR format, and the most important part is the disk name. For me I will use /dev/disk4 because this is my USB device, but for you it can be different. You should be yeah, check everything double time because all the data on this device will be destroyed. So then just press enter and type the administrator's password. Then we should wait maybe just for 10 seconds. Yeah, it was so fast, and we are ready to proceed further. The next step is to unmount our disk. We will use the command discutil unmount disk. Yeah, very simple, and specify the disk. For me again it's disk number 4, and then just press enter. Yeah, we can see amount of all volumes on disk 4 was successful, and that is mean we are ready for the last and the most important part, which is yeah, writing our system to the disk. So for that we will use this command, which is sudo dd, yeah, which is dd under the super user rights. The first argument is the path to your sorry, dot rough. Let me fix that. Dot rough disk image file. And yeah, the second argument is your USB device, the name of your USB device, the path to your USB device, which is /dev/disk4 for me, but for you can be different. And the last argument is block size. So yeah, for the block size we use just 1 megabyte. Yeah, this argument, we tested, it works perfectly, so yeah, just leave it like that. And then press enter and wait maybe for 1 minute until it will be done. So yeah, as we can see, everything finished successfully, and that is mean we are ready for the next part of our video. And now we are ready for the next part of our video, which is booting from our USB device. Because I record this video on my Windows system, I should use VirtualBox, and yeah, let me firstly show you the configuration. So firstly I have one disk which we will use as a storage. We can see the actual size is 2 megabytes, which is empty, which is mean empty, yeah. And yeah, also my device, my USB device is also connected with a USB 3.0 controller. So let's start our virtual machine and wait until it will be booted. As we can see, our system was successfully booted, but we have this notification that our data storage disk not connected. That is mean our system was successfully installed to the USB device, and for now we should just connect our data storage. So go to the section 6, which is data storage. Here click enter. Here choose connect disk for data storage, which is number 1. And yeah, we can choose our disk, which we selected, which we created for storage. For me, I remember you, it's 15 gigabytes. And I will type the name of it, which is SDB. So then I just click enter and wait until our system will be rebooted and fully ready to use. So as we can see, our system is successfully rebooted, and we don't have the string about data storage anymore. So that is mean we are ready for the first authorization to the web interface of MiCoverBX. For that you should go to your web browser. I will use just Chrome, and then just type the IP address of your MiCoverBX station. You can find it here, yeah, with a yellow color. So you just type it and press enter. Then click advanced, proceed, and after that you should type default login and password for the first authorization, which is admin for both. Then click authorize, and for the first login we should change our password. Let's do that. And click save. And after that our system is fully ready to use, and later in video we will connect 2 different soft phones and provide some small test of our system. So in today's video I'm going to use 2 different soft phones. The first one is Phoneolite and the second one is Zoiper. Let's get started with the Phoneolite, and for the connection we should go to the configuration section and here click new. Here we should choose manual configuration and just type our IP address to the domain realm field. So for me 168.142. Then click on this arrow, and in the username field we should type the number of our employee which we want to connect. For example, let's connect 201. So I will type 201 here, and the same for the notification name. And for the password field, we should just copy the password for SIP from the MicroPaBX interface. So yeah, you can do that using this button and paste it there. Then click next and finish. As we can see here, our extension was successfully registered, and the same, in the MicroPaBX web interface. Now let's proceed with the second soft phone, which is Zoiper, and let's connect an extension with the internal number 203. So here in the first field we type this internal number, after that type the symbol, and then type the IP address of our MicroPaBX station. And for the password field, in the same way as we did with the first extension, copy the password for SIP. Then click login, next, skip, next, and as we can see by this green indicator in the Zoiper interface and the green indicator in the MicroPaBX web interface, our connection was successful. Now let's try to call from one soft phone to another one. 201 deal. As we can see, it works, so our connection was successful. And now for the last step, let's test our station using internal Delplan application which called as echo test. So you can find it here in the modules Delplan applications section. We should deal this number, and if everything works perfectly and our installation process was correct, we can hear our voice. It's 1032.46. 1, 2, 3 test. As we can see, it works perfectly. That is mean our whole process was completed successfully. So thank you for watching, and I wish you have a good day. Goodbye.